Feeling like online dating is just a cycle of the same boring chats and shitty connection? You're not alone if you are finding yourself frustrated, bored, and fatigued from online dating. Let's dig into how come so many people are exhausted from online dating and why dating apps are actually designed to get you hooked and unfortunately make it a miserable experience. Hi, I'm Dr. Catalina, the Intimacy Doc. I'm a psychologist who helps you have great sex and intimacy you desire and deserve. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel and ask me questions. All right, let's dig into it. Ever notice that you're having the same conversations? How are you doing? How was your day? That it feels like you're talking to a chatbot when you're online dating and getting to know someone. A recent study showed that 72% of online daters feel like the conversations they're having are repetitive. From the get-go, you're finding yourself bored and fatigued from the conversation. Unfortunately, it's just easier to say the same things over and over. And because people are just online dating and swiping, and having multiple conversations going on at the same time, it's actually hard to drop in and actually have a real connection. And so if that's what you want to do, we're going to talk about how to do that. So you are not alone. Swiping through, are you feeling like all profiles look the same? Profile repetition is another thing of why online dating can just feel so fatiguing and boring. A 2024 Pew Research study found that 65% of online daters reported seeing the same pictures and phrases in all of these profiles, that it's actually hard to stand out. You know, apps are starting to use AI to help you pick the best picture. And again, what you gotta know is that in and of itself is going to create these binaries. It's still an algorithm of what is actually attractive or what are people basically swiping on. Inherent in how the apps are designed, that's why you're seeing the same thing over and over. And just kind of that same is just pretty boring, right? Inauthentic connections is another reason you've got swipe fatigue. From scripted messages to shallow interactions. Online dating just feels less genuine than face-to-face real conversations. It feels performative. And a Psychology Today article last year that about 53% of online daters are finding that these conversations are just pretty bland and same. That's why you're finding the process boring. And then you're likely actually contributing to it because you're engaging in it and you're feeding the same thing back. This is where reciprocity, the energy that someone gives is also the energy that they get. So that's why you're finding yourself fatigued. Online dating impacts your mental health. This endless cycle of superficial swiping and interactions not only feel like a chore, but they're going to impact how you feel and unfortunately can lead to depression and anxiety. The American Psychological Association reports that about 40% of online daters experience high levels of distress and anxiety from online dating. And so this repetitive cycle, unfortunately, is fostering low mood and stress, which then comes into those interactions and then further exacerbates this cycle of miserableness, if that's a word. So what can you do to escape this burnout? Let's dig into the signs of burnout, why dating apps are designed to foster this burnout, and what you can concretely do to actually enjoy online dating. It's a great mechanism to actually just meet somebody and find that match that you desire. Let's get into it. Here are the signs of online dating burnout. 1, emotional exhaustion. Are you finding yourself just swiping mindlessly and just not even really like noticing any kind of emotion or feeling while doing it? Not even any curiosity? Recent research has showed that on dating apps, unfortunately, people are experiencing high levels of stress because of this just repetitive online swiping and this lack of real connection. 2, frustration and cynicism. You find yourself just being like, what the fuck is the point? We know that over 68% of individuals who are online dating feel worse afterwards and end up a bit cynical. And you hear people saying, oh, there's no good matches out there, or thinking that this app is better than this one. And the reality is unfortunately that just leaves you feeling more and more burnt out. And that's why then you pull off, you delete your account, and then you come back on. You take breaks, and how many times have you seen that happen? Find yourself experiencing a lack of motivation and just avoiding the apps altogether. A University of Texas study showed that about 55% of online daters really just found themselves experiencing so much fatigue that they had to just avoid it. And again, this is why you're seeing so many people use the apps, take a break, come back, and you'll even see it in their profiles. So the fatigue is real, and that impacts your enthusiasm to actually even engage in the process, and then in turn, how you're gonna date. A really clear sign you are burnt out from online dating is your body is telling you you're experiencing real physical symptoms like poor sleep, fatigue, muscle soreness. Recent studies have actually shown that burnout from online dating is real, and people are having sleep disturbances from it, from this excessive screen time. And you can see when people are texting you at night. Oftentimes it is in the middle of night. And unfortunately, the screen itself is exacerbating those sleep disturbances. All of this isn't happening just because, right? Dating apps are actually designed for this to happen. First off, the average use every day for online daters is about 52 minutes. And have you noticed that yourself is you just go like swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe right, swipe left, swipe. That's inherent in the UX, or the design of that user interface. And that monotony trains your brain to just go back and forth. It also trains it to not be mindful or conscious while you're actually engaging in the process. And then unfortunately, again, that's contributing to this burnout. The gamification of dating apps is also another thing that aims to keep you in, all right? Getting a rose and all of those things are aimed at reinforcing you to do this thing over and over and over. That unfortunately doesn't necessarily mean that you're fostering a real authentic connection, or that you're actually engaging in one with someone else, and that that's actually genuine. Dating apps are optimized for retention. Keep that in mind. That's why you'll get alerts of new things or notifications. All of these things are aimed and designed by apps to keep you in the app. All right, these are incentives. And this is why, on average, most online daters find themselves deleting and uploading again their profiles 3 to 4 times a year. So what are some practical, realistic solutions that you can actually begin to implement so that you actually enjoy the process, enjoy online dating? The first is to set concrete limits. And similar to what you probably do for social media, this is where you can put it, timers on your phone, or literally you can just play a playlist. And when that playlist is done, you're done, okay? 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day, really trying to create a space in which you're going to, just similar to if you were going to a bar or a cafe to meet somebody, using online dating the same way and creating some intentional limits on how you're engaging and how long you're engaging in that space. Curate your experience. Set your filters, particularly geographically, thinking about the lifestyle that you have. Set them around the things that your values and what actually matters to you. Unfortunately, some of the bigger dating apps really just have very superficial filters of how to actually begin to curate your experience. And so this is why, if you begin to actually be conscious of who you're swiping, you're going to start seeing those same types of people, okay? That really are representing and resonating with your values. The algorithm really is very little substance to it. And so really be conscious and begin to actually curate yourself in the app. Take breaks from the app. Take 1 day break a week from just saying, I'm not on the apps today. A 2023 study showed that taking a 1 day break during the week reduced burnout about 40% in online daters. And so take that intentional, not just reactive, but an intentional break from looking for a partner. Utilize the app features mindfully. Put up do not disturb times and take off your notifications. Make the choices up front so that you can actually create a container for yourself of how you're engaging in these apps. You have sovereignty in this. If you do this on the front end, it will help you throughout this whole process. Overall, all of these tips are really encouraging you to just be more mindful. It is simple, but it is not easy, okay? Try to do concrete actions that are going to actually create a container and some structure around how you are engaging in online dating. That's where you begin to actually enforce your own boundaries. Then that will allow you to actually have fun and enjoy the process. That's what we want, okay? And this is a lot of why I'm creating Rebirth. And it's going to be a new way of approaching dating and fostering connection and intimacy in long-term dating. There's so many gaps right now in how we are approaching dating and nurturing relationships, and I think it's time to fill those gaps. So if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be talking more about Rebirth over the next few months. And feel free to sign up for my email or newsletter to stay informed. And please let me know if you have any questions. Let's dig into and disrupt dating and relationships. It's time for a change. We are all wanting real, authentic, long-term connection. And to have that, let's do it together. Let's figure it out. There are strategies that we can do. We all deserve the great sex and intimacy we desire. All right, guys, have the day you desire. Cheers.